And we are back. CRNY's Artist Employment Program is a 2-year program that's funding employment for 300 artists working in collaboration with community-based organizations across New York State. And BronxNet is proud to be one of these organizations working with artists on creating their original programs. And joining us to share more details, we've got screenwriter, producer Jasmine P. and filmmaker and founder of Anabach Studios. We've got Kobina de Graft Johnson. Thank y'all both for joining us.
Hey, Darren. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you. Exciting time for you guys, huh?
Super exciting time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go a little bit and talk about Creative Rebuild New York and what's going on there.
Okay. So with Creative New York, it's a program where they support an artist because they wanted to be able to fund artists so they could focus on their craft. So that's their program that they have. Now, fortunately for us, BronxNet, we have a collaboration with them, and CRNY is funding this project. So now we are in a position to create content with BronxNet.
Right. And I want to get Jasmine in to talk about your content because you come from a great history and talk about your history and where you are today.
Yes, so I've actually been in entertainment for about 7 years now. I started off in advertising, and then I was lucky enough to transition to Lifetime, and I worked there in programming and development. I've had the opportunity to work on things like Surviving R. Kelly, Mahalia, Married at First Sight on the unscripted side. And, I was just saying while I was there and working on the side, I was like, executive so-and-so, how do I start writing? How do I get to the other side of this process? And they were like, you kind of have to Issa Rae your way into the game because we all know Issa changed everything for creatives. And so I took that opportunity to heart and I just started producing my own content.
And for yourself, I mean, a filmmaker, you've been doing this for about 7 years, you said?
About 7 years as well, yeah.
And there's something about being able to tell your own story.
Right.
What's that like for you, and what are you hoping that people can do and take from that?
It's an amazing time because I remember, watching movies because, I love movies, but watching movies, you get a lot of movies overseas, because I come from Ghana. So every movie we watch was from overseas. Back in the day, the cost of production to make a film was so high, we couldn't afford it. But now it's at a place where it's affordable. So we have young filmmakers coming from the country that want to tell their own stories. And we just want to be able to share our stories and show the world what Ghana is about through film.
For yourself, Jasmine, obviously, you did I should say that you had some work on digital series Hotline as well.
Yes.
And so when you look at some of the work that you've done and where you are today, talk to us about how that parlays in where we are today.
Yes, so Hotline was a passion project of mine. I was at a point in my life where I was like, I kind of want to move to LA, but I kind of now know I have to Issa Rae my way in. Everyone I know, including Kobina, is in New York. So I was like, okay, let me take my savings and put it into producing this project. And from there, we were able to shoot enough to get a trailer. And then I had to crowdfund, and over 300 people gave me over $15,000 to produce the series. So we went on to produce. We got caught up in the pandemic, but God willing, we made it to the other side. And the show now is on Amazon Prime, and it's also going to Revolt in 2023.
What's that feel like for you? I mean, obviously putting your work forward, you guys, here you go, Amazon Prime, Revolt. Here you are, filmmaker, getting it out there and going, and to see your work actually be out there. Many times people see everybody else's. Now people have an opportunity to see yours. What's that feeling like?
I mean, it's very empowering because you get to really put your work out there. And I think the times that we are in, we need to empower the creatives so they're able to really, go out there and create the work and put it out there for everybody to enjoy it as well.
And so a little bit about the film.
So there's several projects that are, currently working on. The project that we are working on with BronxNet is called Stressed. And it really is about this young Gen Z millennial that is navigating her way through Bronx. And Jasmine is our amazing writer. She's going to go deep in to, break it down for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Stressed is about Ashanti Bonsu. She's a first-generation Ghanaian American. And she is everything hashtag Black Girl Magic, Black Excellence online.
Right.
But in real life, you know, she's kind of a hot mess, mattress on the floor type of chick, just trying to grind it out and make it any way possible. And I think that it'll be relatable for a lot of people who see this glitz and glamour on Instagram, but don't get to see like what's really going on behind the scenes. So within Stress, we'll explore Shanti's mental health. We'll explore the impact social media has on people, like the pressure it puts on us to live like this glamorous life. And honestly, just being Ghanaian and then choosing this like unconventional path. Like for a lot of Africans, what is it? It's lawyer, engineer, doctor, or disgrace. And Ashanti has chosen disgrace, you know, for her family.
Right.
So she kind of feels like she has to grind it out and make sure that she pops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a great African population here in the borough of the Bronx.
Right.
And talk to us about your excitement just being able to reach that population, amongst others, in New York City.
I think it's a great time because, you know, obviously I'm Ghanaian and I'm excited about this project because we've seen stories, but we just haven't seen our story on that
Right.
scale. So I think this is what we didn't know we wanted. You know, when it comes to fruition, we would watch it and be able to come together behind this project because it's really talking about living in the Bronx, experiencing the Bronx from our POV. So it's super, super exciting times.
Jasmine, about being that writer, right? I
Yeah.
think many times we focus a lot on being in front of the camera, right? Or I gotta be that Issa, right? That you know that's gonna be in front. But the reality is there's more power sometimes being behind the scenes.
Yes, definitely. And for my first show, I had to be on screen, and editing was really painful. I'm like, oh my God. You know, I definitely know that my passion is behind the scenes and creating these characters and creating these worlds. And also for me, it's just really important to put people in front of the camera that normally don't get to be there. So for hashtag Stressed, it's really important to me that the main character is a plus size Black woman. And we get to see her be happy and have friends and have a love life. You know, and the show's not about her body.
Right.
You know.
Even though we talk about watching, you don't always see plus size people
Right.
as the lead, but yeah, you're taking that narrative and you're moving with that. A message in that?
It's just there's room for everyone. You know, there's room for everyone to shine. So we just have amazing people around us, and we work with who, you know, is in our circle, not circle, but who we see around us every day. Yeah, the everyday person.
Yeah. What message would you want to pass on to people who are really thinking about getting involved in the industry, right? Because we know that it could be up, it could be down. You've had experience, and you know you guys are really in the trenches now. Talk to us about how somebody.
We deep.
Yeah, real deep, right?
Yeah.
You know, but for somebody that's out there watching, thinking about doing this, what advice do you give them?
I was actually just talking to another friend of mine who's like a similar path to me. And I was like, you know, honestly, friend, you gotta be crazy to decide that I'm gonna devote my life to being an artist. So I would say that if you're gonna go down this path, you need to really love it. It needs to be a passion of yours, something that you would do for free because you will be doing it for free for many years, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
that's what I say.
I would say to add to what Jasmine said, you know, I've come to understand that art is easy to create. How to market it, how to distribute it is where the challenges come in. So
Right.
now on the flip side, if you feel like you want to be an artist, whatever your art in, study the business side of it on how to be able to progress with what you have, not, you know, versus, you know, an imaginary budget. So work with what's in your pocket, you know, pretty much, and work with that and progress from there.
All right, Kobina, Jasmine, thank you so much for being with us. Congratulations.
No, thank you for
Looking
having
forward to
us.
seeing more, and gotta come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daren.
All right. Well, listen, if you want to donate now, oh yeah, that's true. You got to donate to the
Yes,
project. You
yes.
can donate to the project, right?
Yes,
All right,
yes.
cool. So let me help you out. If you want to donate to their project, you can do that. All you got to do is visit the website at bronxnet.org/donate/CRNY-Artists. And guess what? You can donate to the project and see where your money goes. We encourage you to don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open coming up right after this.